Welcome to Injector Confidential, a podcast by injectors for injectors. I'm Nicole.
And I'm Kristen, and it is so good to hear that intro.
We were just saying that we didn't even remember the intro.
I was like, I can't do it, Nicole. I don't remember. With on you were saying it was coming back.
Oh my God, I'm dead. So, yeah, it's been a while. When was the last time we recorded?
Don't even know. Do
Like
you remember?
September? September?
Probably. Probably. And there's been some good reasons why.
There's been some good reasons why. We've had, a lot going on. I think that when Kristen put up the post about we miss you guys, we'll be back in the new year to record, 2022 was amazing and also full of shit.
Yeah. That was a I have one leader when I was like, oh no, that's sad to say goodbye to.
No, definitely not for reasons in which we shall get into, but also a lot of good. One of them being that we started this beautiful podcast and now we're almost a year into it, Kristen.
Oh my God, I know. Yeah.
And
As of March, that will be our 1 year anniversary.
we've gotten so much better at it too.
I know. Maybe our audience will disagree with us. But our end of the actual like setup part, we've gotten much smoother.
We've gotten much smoother. And the biggest thing has been I got an absolute beast of a new MacBook Pro as soon as they dropped. And I texted Kristen as soon as I paid for it. And I expected her to text me back immediately. And then I had to double text her to get her to acknowledge me. But it's going to be,
Maybe you haven't texted me before, that's like a common occurrence.
it's a common thing.
She's delayed.
No. She's not ghosting me, but it's made recording so much easier already. My old laptop used to in the background until I edited it out. It sounded like it was about to take off in flight. It would be hot, like I could cook an egg on it afterwards. It was not good. So this is smooth sailing. Like my battery hasn't changed at all since we've been on this call.
Oh, I love that. I love that for you.
It's so
Love that
amazing.
for us.
Love that for us. So, okay, where the heck do we even start?
Okay, so let's start with our personal. We're going to do some personal updates, and then
Yep.
we're going to talk about some exciting professional updates that we had, and then maybe we can touch on where we're seeing the podcast go this year.
Oh, yes, I love that. Wow, you're really good at these on the fly outlines. If you can't tell, we're going into this up with no outline. We're really coming at you real raw and ratchet,
As always.
as always. Okay, so personal life. Who should start? Where do we even start?
You have
Okay.
all the exciting me.
I've got the exciting and the sad. I'm not sure if we had touched on this in any of the old episodes. In July, end of July, right after I had put in notice and had gone off to start my own business, literally that day after we had recorded, my dad actually, who is otherwise extremely healthy, really doesn't have any medical problems for his age, just had a surprise MI with a full 99% blockage of his right coronary artery. He's doing great. That's the good news. But he did have to have emergency open heart surgery, a nice little cabbage. And if you guys follow anything on Kristen, her dad has had a couple of cardiac events in 2022 as well. So we are now the Cabbage Patch Sisters.
That's right. That's right. Oh my God, our dads are keeping us on our toes.
I know more cardiac ICU admissions for 1 year than like ever should be okay. I was up in Oregon for a week. I'm the only medical person in my family. I was grateful that I could go up and help out. And then you'll notice that there's an alternation between low, high, at least on my end. I would say the highest high of 2022 in my personal life was that I got engaged.
Now, yeah, you did, girl.
I did. I did. I got engaged in Paris. Isaiah and I have been dating for 10 years, if you didn't know that. And he surprised me with a trip to Paris when I thought we were going to New York. Yep.
He killed it.
That was definitely like the highest high. Just so exciting. We've been, really enjoying being engaged. Quite honestly, not really anything feels different, except for I'm not used to having this massive rock on my hand, but I'm not mad about
Oh,
it.
I love it. We need to share a picture of it, actually, because it's
I
so
did. Is that
beautiful.
too showy? I feel like I'm just
No.
embodying being a basic bee with my
Oh
like
my God.
my subtle ring flexes, but I'm not mad about it because I worked a decade for this, honey.
Oh yeah, you did, girl.
Yeah.
Get it.
Yeah, get it. Thank you. We'll end on a high for personal.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
me. Definitely, I would say two of the lowest lows in 2022 were losing Isaiah's mom. And that was back in April. I talked about that in one of our last bonus episodes. We miss her every day, but On a very, very also unexpected note is that in end of December, Isaiah and I lost our sweet, sweet boy Jet, who was our 12-year-old lab mix. We miss him so much every day, and that was by far the hardest thing that I think that each of us have had to go through together. But we're really grateful that we got 12 healthy years with him. He unfortunately had cancer, and there's so many things that can happen with dogs and pets. They can get hit by cars, they can get lost. I'm so grateful that although it was such a horrible diagnosis and he was really sick, that we had the time that we did with him at the end, about a month. So we miss Jet every day. We are holding off on getting a new pet, which is very difficult. We've always had pets because Isaiah and I are getting married pretty soon. I'm
Oh.
telling you, when I told you this would be a whirlwind of highs and lows, you guys were not ready for it. So we're getting married pretty soon in light of everything that happened in 2022. We just like had this existential moment while Jet was sick and we said, why should we wait? We've never really wanted to have a true wedding. We've always wanted to have a courthouse wedding where it was just intimate and the two of us. So we just decided to go for it. So we're getting married pretty soon. No, I'm not pregnant. That's been asked me a couple times.
Damn it, much to my disappointment.
Kristen's so ready to go back to square one.
Yes, but give me
Give
that baby.
me that baby. One time I was like, "I can't work with the baby," and she was like, "I'm ready with the baby Bjorn. I'll inject with the baby Bjorn on."
Yes, absolutely. And if any of you guys watched my stories this week, you know that I went to the Lux training, and our amazing friend McKenna had just a little brand spanking new 6 week old that I held for the majority of the training.
Oh my
So
god, there is nothing
it can
better
happen.
than a fresh baby. Like, below 4 months and younger is so good because they need to be held. They can't get away from
Mhm.
you,
They
and
can't argue with
they
you.
can't argue with you, and they're not afraid of you yet.
This is all very true.
Children will come eventually, but we're holding off on getting a new fur baby because we're also doing a decent amount of international travel this year. This is the first year that I've been like out of grad school, fully settled in my business. And so we were like, fuck it, let's just send it. So we're going to this year in 2023, we're going to Thailand in March. Isaiah's family, half of his family is from Hawaii. So we'll go over there as well. And then at the end of the year, we're also going to Florence. We're going to Italy.
Oh my god, I didn't know about Italy.
Yeah, that's a new one. We decided that we wanted to go for Christmas because originally that's where Saint Nicholas is from, apparently. So
Oh, look at
they
how
go
cute you guys are.
they go hard on Christmas. And well, Isaiah told me this because he studied abroad in Italy in Florence. So I've been dying to go. I know, I'm so excited. But in between all of those trips, I'll be posting up at Kristen's house and in her suite, and basically anywhere and everywhere that she is, I will be.
No, it's now you guys have an idea of why we've had to take a little break from podcasting because even the good things are just big. And so it's like good to take some time to just be with those things and enjoy them real time.
Right. And I mean, for Kristen and I both, we like to give when we're recording, we give it our full capacity. Like, aside from Kristen's also, like, she's just multitasking right now. She's got like the cat next to her. She's got her niece watching Coco Melon in her bed. She's just really rocking the Aunt Mom life. I'm in a closet with the with the door closed. So we like to give it our full attention. And if we feel like we can't give our full attention and our full enthusiasm to record, then we just don't. And I think that's
Yeah.
honestly, like, we're the same way about social media, but we're so stoked to be back in it, feeling really inspired, maybe by, just evolving with the fresh new year. But both of us have really exciting professional things as well. But I want to talk about Kristen's personal life.
There's really not much new.
How old are the boys?
Definitely.
Remind to everyone.
Oh my gosh. Eli's going to be 14 in a couple of weeks.
Oh my God.
And Silas is 10. I know. So we're definitely like in the thick of it as far as like just like I feel like as a mom, just in that like the phase where like really needing to be present and teenagers is just it's a beast, but they're so enjoyable, so fun.
Eli's going to be in high school so soon.
Yeah. We just
Oh
picked out all of his electives
my
and yeah.
God. Stop it.
Yeah, I had a hard time with that one.
Are you going to sob on the first day of high school?
I think I might. Maybe because he's going to the high school that I went to, it just feels very like,
No
oh
way.
my gosh. Yeah. So it's really cool and exciting. And he's such a good kid. Like, I'm
Eh,
so excited to just watch him like spread his wings a little.
oh, yeah, he's so solid of a child, like, unfazed,
Totally.
unbothered. I wish I was, like, an ounce of that solid. I feel like compared to him,
Oh
I'm
my gosh.
unhinged.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Well, one thing that has stayed constant for us in the last few months has definitely been our love affair with our therapist, Amy. So
How could we
still seeing her
forget
on a regular
Amy?
basis. Although she did leave us for 6 weeks to go on a much deserved sabbatical, but we were hurting during that 6 weeks.
So that 6 weeks was possibly, would you say, Kristen, the worst time for her to take a dip?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and
Oh
it was
yeah.
and I could pick up too that Amy was concerned to take that sabbatical because it was, like, right after Jet had gotten diagnosed with cancer, but you know what? It was a test. It was a test from the universe. Both of you and I were ready to handle it, and so were all parts of our system, so
Yes. And she's just never allowed to leave again.
no,
Mm.
she's never allowed to
So
take a
there you go.
vacation. How dare she? But
I
yes,
know.
Amy is one of our relationships that's, like, a constant through 2022, never failed us.
Oh, she's just she's the
Angel.
the mood and all the stars. We love
I
her
know.
so much.
We love her so much. And then Kristen's dipped her toes into the dating pool.
Yes, 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 yes. I am dating someone. He's
I know
great. We've known each other for a long time, but this is the first few months of like an actual dating relationship. So that's exciting.
I'm
Things are going
so
good.
excited. I'm so excited. But it's just so nice to see Kristen happy. Not that she wasn't happy before, but
Yeah.
you're
No,
just an
he's
independent lady.
great. I am an independent lady. So that's, always an adjustment. But yeah, he's fabulous. He's wonderful. Things are going really well. And let's see what else. We went on a family vacation to Cancun this
Yes.
past, like right around Christmas time. So it was really great. And yeah, things are just like kind of smooth sailing for me right now. But
And on that
uh,
note,
knock
Kristen
on
has
wood.
oh my God, yeah, knock on wood for both of us, Jesus. And on that note, Kristen has an absolutely slamming bikini bod now.
Okay, well, let's talk about Ozempic for like 2 seconds here.
Oh, I mean, of course, you always are beautiful. I say this to all of my clients, like beautiful before, beautiful after, but like radiant now because of confidence, right? It's truly the power of confidence
Yes.
and like investing in yourself. And you exemplify that.
Thank you. And just taking care of myself in the same way that I tell my patients to take care of themselves. And like that does show on the outside. I'm still working with my trainer and doing Ozempic. I feel really good. Things are great over here.
Amazing for now. Once again, knock on
Yes,
wood.
I know.
Knock on wood. I know, but she looks fabulous. And we'll talk about her new jawline as well at some point. But first, we have to hit the professional updates because we've both been teasing about some stuff on stories and it's time to talk about it. All right. So, for professional updates, exciting shit. Kristen, you go first. What's in the works for you?
I mean, so I'm still with Quadrant. Things are going great, building my practice, all of that. So all of that's great. And nothing really new there. We're going to talk about some different products we've been working with, but nothing really new there. But what is so exciting is that I have developed a mentorship program called the Aesthetic Mindset. I know, I'm so excited about it. It's something that's honestly been in the works for me for a long time. And it's all of the things that I thought I wish I would have known as an injector. I'm taking my mentees through a whole process of one, looking through like what were your goals? Like, or what did you accomplish this past year? What goals professionally and personally do you want to hit? How to get there? And then a whole process of branding, tracking your ideal client, working through money mindset blocks, imposter syndrome, just a lot of the stuff that we talk about on the podcast, but in a step by step handbook. And so the plan for it right now is that the workbook should be done by the end of the month. And so that will be available. You can just kind of go through like self paced. You can also go through it with me one on one in a private coaching session, or there will be a group coaching session available. And then from there, come summer, all of this will be available on video modules that are available online. So then you can again go through it self paced, but have a little bit more direction. So I'm super excited. I'm going to be launching the Instagram and the email list by the time this episode airs. So you'll definitely have to check out the.aesthetic.mindset.
Yes, honey.
We'll link it. I know. I'm very excited. It's going to be
It's
really
like a
great. I feel
long
like
time coming, but you had to feel called to it, I think, as well.
Totally, like, it's something that's been in my mind for so long. And honestly, like Nicole's going to share her latest and greatest, and watching her start her stuff has been very inspiring to me. And I'm like, okay, here we go. I think now's the time.
Well, honestly, it just proves also that we're codependent and we're two peas in a pod, that we literally can't do any next step without each other.
That is true. Fix that, Amy.
I know, fix that. Can we talk about the codependent part of me?
Okay, but what about you? Tell us about yours.
Okay, so I first of all just want to say that I've seen a little sneak peek of the preview for what Kristen's program is. And oh my God, guys, it's going to be so useful. Like, I'm going to use it myself. And I just love how it's so actionable. The steps are also actionable, they're useful. It's not telling you shit that you already know. That's one thing that I can't stand when it comes to mentoring and telling you stuff that you already know, when they're like, wake up earlier. And it's like, well, no shit, but maybe I don't want to. You know what I mean?
Right. Or if I could do that, then yeah, like I wouldn't need a mentor. But like
Yeah,
the whole
where it's
point is that I need more actionable steps. What it's not is basically everything that Nicole going to talk about. So together they're perfect. But it's not like I am not like a technical trainer. That is not my gifting. That's not, where I shine. This is all the behind the scenes, the psychology piece, like how to take care of your patients on a psychological level, how to take care of yourself, just all the main things that are going to help your practice grow, no matter where you're at as an injector, and whether you're on your own or in a med spa environment, it will be applicable for you.
yes, that is where Kristen shines, absolutely. She's such a gifted injector, but it's just proof that just because you're a gifted injector, you don't have to be a technical trainer if you don't want to be. If it doesn't call to you, it doesn't have to be a career goal for everyone. And then there's me. If you know me, I'm a big nerd. I love evidence-based practice. I love maintaining practice standards. I love reviewing that kind of evidence. And so I thought back, and now being, in my 4th year of injecting, being on my own in my own practice and thinking about what's the next step. Obviously, I have achieved a huge goal by going out on my own and starting my own practice, and it's been really successful, and I'm very, very grateful for that. And I've also worked my ass off. But the next step for me that I've been waiting to get to, and I'm so excited about, it's always been a goal of mine to start an aesthetic mentorship program in a very different respect from Kristen's, though. This is purely technical, purely anatomical products, how to be a safe, competent, and confident injector, and have me empower you to do that. So, really, what this program as of now is the Let's Talks About It aesthetic mentorship. What I find with a 2-day training course is that you miss out on a lot of the things that you need in order to really be a confident injector. So, you don't have somebody there one on one telling you, okay, this is why you do this. They're basically just showing you, it's a show and go. They're like, okay, this is where you inject it, and here you go. This is your dilution. This is how much to draw up. Okay, go inject. For most people, that's not enough. So this program helps fill in the gaps and takes it to a new level. As of right now, of course, I can always adjust and pivot for a more advanced injector, but right now it's targeted towards newer injectors, so less than 2 years of experience. It's giving you, just like Kristen's, it's giving you everything I wish I knew in a very actionable, useful form on paper, a handbook that, I mean, I wish I had this when I was starting out, so you can refer back to it. We talk about complications, we talk about complication management, we talk about dosing, technique, rheology, all that kind of nerdy stuff that I love so much. So as of now, I have a wait list that's getting started, and I know that Kristen does too. So if you're hearing this and you're like, yes, I would benefit from that, you can go to www.letstalksaboutit.com, and I have a program sign up sheet that you can email me and I will put you on my wait list. I'm really stoked about this though, because the people that I have used have started it on. Is that Coco Melon or is it Harper? Oh, it's Cutie Pie. She's getting so big.
Say hi, Nicole. Hi, Edgar.
Say, I love her. What was I going to say? Oh, the injectors that I have mentored and used this with, it's been extremely helpful to them and all the feedback has been great. So, the way that it's going to work as of now is that there will be an option to just download the guide itself. There will be another option to have a guided through version with myself in person or on Zoom if you're local to the San Diego area of going through the guide, answering your questions in real time. And then, more importantly, for this is what everybody's asking, there will be an option to come shadow me and actually come train. And I like that's the kind of stuff that just lights my soul on fire. I love it. So I'm really excited to be able to take on more of that in a bigger capacity. And yeah, I also in a small
If I may, Nicole,
yes,
I would
yes,
say
yes, yes.
you said it's like you said it's for like more beginner
Yeah.
injectors, but like when you were like explaining to me like in depth all of your content, the
Mhm.
first thing I thought was, oh my gosh, like I would love to take it. Cause especially not being a part of such a large network of providers, I realize how many like ways there are of certain people doing things. And I mean, I've been an
Yeah.
injector for a long time.
Mhm.
So I'd have to say maybe a more experienced injector doesn't need the shadow time, but like I definitely encourage no matter where you're at to definitely look into the didactic part because it is a good refresher even for me and I've been injecting for a long time.
Well, thank you. Thank you. That is that's very kind of you to say. It truly is. I mean, I think of it as kind of like, who is that? Is that Willow?
So,
Oh my god, sweet baby. Everybody's coming to hang tonight. Hi, Willow, I miss you. You know, it's the same thing as going to an on-label training. It's never bad to learn quote unquote the basics and know the proper way to do something. And I think so many of us, we don't learn the proper way. We just kind of trial and error it. And this is your way to learn how to do it properly and then take whatever pieces you want, take them or leave them. But then at least you have a definitive guide that's evidence based, reflects current practice standards, and you've got someone like me that's supporting and cheering you on. Part of the mentorship, the highest level of it, if you opt into that option, you get a year of mentorship with me, which means that you can talk to me about HIPAA safe, obviously, patient complications, and I can basically just be a support for you for a year on an unlimited basis.
I just love the whole way you set it up too. I think it's so great because there's just
Thank you.
options for everyone.
Thank you.
And I feel like when you've been an injector for a certain amount of time, like you kind of have your script of how you explain Botox and fillers to patients and stuff, but to hear it broken down the way that you have, I feel like is just all these really good patient education pearls too, which
Mhm.
in turn is going to help you with your sales and just the whole patient experience. So I think it's going to be a phenomenal program for injectors of all skills. And right now we're working on what would it look like for you to do both of our programs, basically
Yes.
do the foundational technical stuff with Nicole. Then once you're ready, come to me and we'll talk about, okay, now what? How do you build your brand? How do you build your business? So we're stoked.
We're stoked. And I also forgot about when I was talking about let's talks about it.com. A big professional win for me is that I trademarked Let's Talks About It.
Oh yeah, you did, girl.
Yeah. And
And
so
tell
that,
us why you had to trademark.
so I
Not
had to,
specifically, but just in
no.
general.
So in general, I had to trademark Let's Talks About It. I didn't have to. I chose to. I mean, that's been my handle on Instagram for quite some time and part of my branding. But I realized it was a necessity when there were some shirts and apparel going out around the internet with my exact um old branding with the exact same font, typography, everything with Let's Talks About It on them. I've seen several injectors buy and wear them. And also, there was an event that took place in another state with an injector that knows me. And she called it during Botox week, called it Let's Talks About It. So, that if you have anything involving Let's Talks About It, this is not a threat. It is a gentle suggestion that you might want to revisit that because I do have the rights to Let's Talks About It in the aesthetic
Yeah, you do, girl.
space. So, I'm the new Leslie Fletcher. Nobody use microtox.
Nobody used nothing.
Nobody used nothing. And now we wanted to touch on what products and what new kind of things that we're doing in our practices that we really love. And so Kristen went to a fantastic training that I can't wait to pick her brain about. I think that one will probably be in the pipeline for me in the future, but she went to a great full Lux training with our favorite trainer, our
Freaking
queen,
Lauren Reed, baby.
Lauren motherfucking Reed, our
That's right.
literal our queen. So I know, God, we fangirl so hard about her. So Kristen went to a training with her. I'm gonna let her take over and talk all about Volux, though.
So, okay, I'm sure a lot of people listening right now are like either have just done a training, about to do a training, or you're like right in that, as most allergen providers are. So I'm sure you guys have gotten some amazing trainings. I'm really sorry to tell you though, mine was the best. So,
Yeah, like,
oh,
of course.
oh
I
my
mean, how can
God.
it get any
And
better?
honestly, if you are in the San Diego area, like she's a game trainer and an allergen trainer. So please, you should seriously request to have Lauren come to your practice if you haven't already.
And we
She's
get no money.
genuinely amazing. Yeah, I'm not sponsored.
No, she's an amazing trainer, and I'm not just saying this to, like, win her approval. I think she already does like us, which is fangirl enough. I won't even go there because it makes my heart flutter, but she just has an amazing way, and I've trained with a lot of different trainers, as Kristen has. She has an amazing way of breaking things down, making it so understandable, approachable, relatable, and so safe. And so you can make a
Totally.
mistake. I mean, if you listen to one of our earliest episodes, I was totally jacking up my injection on a gonial angle because I was trying to be fancy, and she literally was like, "Friend, what are you doing?
Stop. But you don't
Stop."
feel intimidated. You're just,
No.
oh yeah, okay, I could do this better.
Right, I can do
But
this
okay,
better.
so I have to share a little pearl about the
Hit
Volux
me.
training. So what she did was she took one of our hand mirrors and then she took point one. This was like a little experiment she did at her own practice. So she took point one of Voluma, Volux, Lift, and Define. Basically different things that we have all probably already been using in jawline and chin. And so she took this handheld mirror, and I realize you guys can't see me, but I'm like showing Nicole. So she laid it out on the table and she put point one of each of those fillers like stacked up like as high on themselves as they could
Mhm.
be. And it was so interesting. Even though conceptually you can get G prime and cohesivity, and it's like you understand it, to see it stacked up with the different fillers, you're like, oh my gosh. Like for me, I was genuinely surprised that Voluma was actually the softest and like the most like falling down one out of all of them, which was surprising.
Interesting.
And then we felt them all. So you could feel
Yeah,
the difference, like the G prime, like that, the ability like to
for it to
withstand
bounce back.
pressure. Yeah, and what I will genuinely say, like, I feel whenever there's sort of a new product that comes on the market, you of course hear all the great latest and greatest, and
Right,
it's obviously the manufacturer's job. And when you're really looking at some of these, like it is feels like it's splitting hairs, whether I'm going to use Voluma or Lift.
right.
But Volux, game changer. Like literally, like you're using so much less product. The
Mhm.
cohesivity, I believe it's like 3 times the amount compared to Voluma. And when you like hold the syringe and it's dripping out, Voluma and all the other ones just drip down like in beads. This like actually connects to each other. So when you push it out, it's like a long strand because
Oh
that's
my
how much the
god.
cohesivity is.
It's kinda like
It's
toothpaste.
wild. Yes, exactly. So
What's it
I
like to
had
push? I need to
the
know.
extrusion force, very similar to Voluma,
Okay.
like a mix between Voluma and Velour. So
Oh,
really easy
easy.
to use, super easy to use. I had it placed. I had a total of 7 syringes, 3 of Volux and 4 of Voluma in mid face and then lower face. And the only thing I can say different compared to other fillers that I've had in my jaw and chin was that I was sore the next day,
Okay.
which they are finding for whatever reason. Patients are just more sore with Volux. And so that is definitely a good point. And then something that I picked up from my rep, which I hope this is a great marketing tip for you guys, is that when they did the research on patient interest, that only 30% of people said, yes, I want a better jawline, but 70% of people said, I wish my jowls were better. So when you're thinking of
Oh,
marketing Volux to your client base, don't focus as much on the jawline, focus more on the improvement of jowls, which it definitely has. And once you do a training, down the road for you guys out there that haven't done it yet. But so that was a really good little tip. And I'm trying to work that into how I educate patients on it. And the other little tip I would give on it is don't offer it like as a single syringe. This needs to be a package item. Most
absolutely.
practices are charging the same amount as Voluma. And so try to come up with a package that gives you a little wiggle room on using Voluma and Volux because you'll want that ability to kind of switch them out. But Yeah, those were like, beyond just the amazing technique and stuff thing that I learned from Lauren and the other injectors that I was with, those were the little tidbits that I feel like would be helpful to anybody listening.
Well, I'm convinced because her jawline looks fucking amazing. Kristen's, that is.
It's definitely a game changer for sure. The other thing that we I can't speak to it yet because I haven't done it on any patients yet, but we just got Easy Gel, which for those of you who aren't familiar with it, it's basically the Easy PRF system by Dr. Ranjani, but it's basically through a series of heating and cooling, you create a gel-like substance, which is filler based out of PRF essentially. So excited to play around with that, especially because a lot of my patients out here are somewhat filler averse and would, want to stay with something more natural. So I'm really
Yeah.
excited to get into that.
And I mean, I just think about for Volux, like for myself as a practice owner, about how cost effective it is for not only us as providers, but to offer something to patients where, instead of what I have been seeing from, the results, it's like 2 Volux achieves what like 6 Voluma does. So, like,
Yeah,
oh my gosh, what a difference on cost and making it cost effective and approachable to clients. So I agree. Oh,
absolutely.
it has to be included. I mean, we know this anyways. Jawline does not get done in isolation ever. And if you are doing it in isolation, you're either doing yourself a major disservice or you did mid face first and you're just splitting the two up. Included in like a contouring package, or I love this jowls tip. I'm definitely gonna be using it.
Totally. And the phrasing that Lauren used was that your jawline is like having a jawline that you're unhappy with is basically a symptom of what's below above it and what's below it. So above it would be loss of mid-face volume, below it would be an increase in segmental fat. And so that's sort of like a good starting point if you're like assessing someone's jawline and that's what say they come in, they see you're running a special on it, and they're like, I want a jawline. The first thing that you need to do is assess above it and assess below it. So if they have super flat cheeks and they have no mid-face volume, that really is still where you should start, even temples. It's going to be harder, of course. We know it's harder to like
Mhm.
convince everybody to do everything all at once, but at least setting the stage of like, hey, let's start with upper to mid face and then work our way down and then assessing that submental fat and considering like, hey, is that submental lipo real necessary? Is Kybella, a great option
Yeah.
here? Or even threads,
Mhm.
different, whatever you have in your toolbox. But I would definitely say like lower base Kybella, threads, and then Volux because you're going to get even just more definition without it getting lost or masculinizing women's
Yep.
jawlines. So yeah, there's like some really great things out there. And it's really
Yeah.
exciting to see the industry just continue to grow.
Oh, yeah, this shit is so cool. This is the shit I love. I love it. So, then any other products you've been, like, loving? I mean, those are, like, 2 big newbies, but
Yeah, we did. I just did a big MERS event.
Mhm.
So I use the event fairly regularly. So that was good. But then getting feedback on Bellatero for under eyes. So I haven't done it yet, but that is on my radar to like get in there with some Bellatero for tear troughs. I'm
Mhm.
just hearing so many good things about it. But
Very
yeah, that's
forgiving.
pretty much it for me. Yeah, I hear it's like honey on toast or something like that.
Yeah,
It
it's
just fills
very
in those
forgiving.
little nooks and crannies.
So, yeah, Kristen's done a lot of new shit. What have I done? Oh, okay, so I will say I am a Juvo stan, like,
What does that mean?
super fan.
I'm a super fan.
Like, I
Oh, I like that.
stan Juvo. And, I always used to say maybe I have everything in my neurotoxin toolbox, but I will say that, like, Botox Dysport wrinkle relaxers are definitely my specialty. And so I figured, if this is up and coming, like when I started my practice, I was like, let's give Juvo a go, basically. I love it, guys. And the reason that, and I mean, the Queen Erica Berry, she loves it too. So say less. One of the reasons that I love it is that, first of all, it doesn't spread very much, which is great for areas that are usually scary, like, the glabella, or if you have little tiny fine lines above the eyebrows, those can cover them without dropping your brows, like with less risk of dropping your brows. When people, I think Juvo did not have a great entry into the aesthetic space
You
because
mean like marketing wise?
yeah, because it was said to dose and act exactly the same as Botox, and the training wasn't there. And so
That's
Jeuveau has,
interesting.
and I mean, the reconstitution on label is the same. It's 2.5, but the technique and what you're able to achieve with Jeuveau is just a little different. So it requires a little bit of different education. For example, it doesn't spread as much as other injectables do at 2.5. So if you're dosing a forehead, if you're used to doing like 5 injection points, you should probably do another couple a little further down, which is great though, because then you
Mm.
can cover a little bit more of those lines that are closer to the brow, usually are a little bit more stubborn. The second thing I love about it is it kicks in just as fast as Dysport, if not a little bit faster. I have clients that are seeing a difference, whether it's placebo or not, I don't care. The placebo effect is real and I'll take it. 12 hours later, they start to see and feel a difference, which is real cool. Not full correction, just saying seeing and feeling a difference.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I love about it, though, as a nerd, is because Jeuveau is only approved for aesthetic purposes and cosmetic. They can train off label.
Nice. Oh, that's
So,
interesting. I didn't know that
so
was like the distinction.
yeah, they can train off label. So I just had a Jeuveau training this past week with an amazing trainer that came from Orange County. And she showed me the definitive, actual anatomically appropriate ways to do Nefertiti neck lift. And I cannot wait to show you tomorrow, Kristen. It's a
I'm
game
so
changer.
excited.
Um,
So excited.
New techniques for like masseters, for treating scars. I mean, we did pore reduction. I just was like a kid in a freaking candy store. I
Amazing. And
love
that
this
lower
stuff.
face, that
The
lower
lower
face
face,
talks,
dude. And
that's
I
gonna
mean,
be huge,
yes,
especially in combination with products like Volux. Huge.
totally. Yeah, that's what I was actually, you read my mind. I was just about to say, if you're not treating people's lower faces, you really should because they're missing out on half of the toxin package. But of course, treating the lower face is a little more tricky because those anatomical structures are like right on top of each other and it's not quite as forgiving. Continuing education, if you're able to get a Jeuveau account and get a Jeuveau training, 10 out of 10 recommend. And yeah, I've just been really enjoying it and my clients are really liking it too. But what else?
They're still getting like 3 to 4 months out of it,
Oh,
that all
yeah.
that good stuff.
So this first wave, because I started using it in September. So I'm getting my first wave now of people.
Oh,
And
love that.
yeah, and so they have less movement than they did, and these are, like, people that I've seen before. They have less movement now than they did between treatments with Botox and Dysport, and
Oh, that's amazing.
it could just be having a new accessory protein that your body is, like, playing around with, and it's different, but I think that that's great if somebody is starting to have a little bit of resistance or
Mhm.
just having another one in your toolkit. I think between Botox, Dysport, Jeuveau, and Xeomin, you truly have everything you could possibly need.
Totally. Oh, I love that. I'm so excited to hear all your tips and tricks on lower face
Oh,
tomorrow.
yeah. And Chris and I are hanging out tomorrow. That's why we talk about tomorrow. The other thing that I also love, this is so dumb. I'm like, maybe nobody thinks of this, but Jeuveau doesn't have to get the cap off. You don't have to use a decapper.
Oh, nice.
It just peels off. And oh my gosh, that's like
Oh,
so helpful because if you're like
why did
me,
they all do that?
Kristen, I honestly, I keep
Uh,
thinking about that because if you don't have a decapper and you're doing a party or you're doing a
yeah.
pop-up like I do every Friday in La Mesa, it will ruin your day. It'll ruin your
Oh,
day.
yeah. Yeah.
I
Well,
know.
I've had to like run out and get like bottle openers. Yeah. It's
Totally,
like,
yeah. I've tried to use scissors before, really janky stuff, cracked bottles of Botox, then you
oh,
can't use
yeah.
it. Oh my god, so embarrassing. So, that's really my newest, latest, and greatest that I've been loving so much, but I'll get on the Volex train here pretty soon. I've just had other things in the pipeline that
Yeah,
I've
girl.
had to take care of, so I couldn't quite get a Volex training in on the calendar. But I can't wait for Kristen to freeze this face. Oh my god.
We're going to have fun tomorrow.
Yes.
She's going to do some PRF on me. I'm so
She's
excited.
gonna
And I've been
hydrate this
hydrating.
time. Yes, she's gonna
I
hydrate this
am.
time.
I drank a whole thing of water for you.
I am so proud of you. Yeah, just
I
keep
know.
going. Yeah, usually her main intake, I mean, she's gotten better in the last year, but like it usually is like Diet Coke and iced coffee. So,
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
which does nothing for your PRF in case you're wondering. No foamy
Oh
blood,
my
please.
God. Oh my God. She's like not even joking.
I know.
Okay. So let's talk podcast direction. You want to talk about
Yes.
like aesthetically where we're heading?
Okay, so it seems like aesthetically, we are headed for a little bit of a facelift in the best way possible. So we are really doubling down on content and making a calendar of things that we think would really benefit all you guys and topics that we want to touch on. It's our goal this year to be more consistent. I think life is allowing us to be a little bit more consistent as well. But we just appreciate your flexibility and your understanding of all of the circumstances that were very extenuating in the last year.
Yeah, totally. And I think 2022 was just like, obviously personally, there was a lot up and down, but also too professionally. There was like, that was my first full year with portrait.
Right.
You started your own thing. And so I think both of us were transitioning from the role of being at a med spa into business ownership and entrepreneurship. And now that we feel like, okay, we're like steady on that. Now it's like we're even more excited to bring you guys content this year. So we're really stoked. We've got a whole bunch of branding stuff coming out.
Yes.
And obviously, with our mentorship program, like that's going to really just make this even more of like a rich experience for you guys. And yeah, I'm just super excited. And, just to see, like, I have to say, it's been so heartwarming and touching to see that in our absence, so many of you had reached out or posted about us or asked where we are, if we're coming back, or it's
Mhm.
just been so great to feel like, oh my gosh, like even in this short period of
It's
time, like this is
feel
making a
appreciated.
difference.
Yeah, definitely. And I can tell some people when they reach out to me, they're like trying to tiptoe around wondering if Kristen and I are still friends, which I find absolutely hysterical because I'd be wondering the same thing.
Right. Did we break up?
No, we did not break up. No, 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 we're just bonded together for life. But yeah, we are so grateful for this. Am I a douche if I call it a platform?
No, please do.
Okay, we're grateful for this platform, even if it makes us sound like a douche. And we just want to do the best that we can that is the most useful and helpful for you guys. We don't really know. We were saying that there should really be a master calendar of conferences, but Kristen and I are going to try to attend some conferences together. So if you see us at a conference, like I'm going to LAMCA at the end of March in LA. If you see us at a conference, like we would love to talk to you and we would love to get more ideas on how we can be the most helpful to you. Yeah.
Yes, it's gonna be a good year. Good year for us, a great year for you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I know this was just more of like a fun catch-up episode. We felt like we could not go this long and not
Without
have one.
Yeah,
So
we had to spill the tea. So stay tuned for more content and we're so excited.
yes. All right. See you next week.
See you next week. Bye.